Go Blue, everyone. Portal Palooza. Next on Michigan Wolverines Live. And here we go, episode 234 of Michigan Wolverines Live, presented by FanDuel. My name's John D'Adamo, and I'm going to take you through this show. We're coming to you from YouTube, we're coming to you from Twitch, we're coming to you from X, but we sound good on radio too. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart. As you join us, go ahead and hit that like button. It just takes a second. Hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell so that you know when we're going live. And of course, share this link out with a friend. If everybody does that, we'll double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple, etc. who's in here. And send us a super chat, as some already have, which we'll cover in just a second. Thank you, Quinn, and everyone else for your super chats. Go ahead and do that if you have a question for us, a comment for us that you want us to read on air. And here we go, partner in crime, as always, to help us navigate the Portal Palooza. Lots going on here. TJ Ronin in the house.
Yo, what up? Let's go. Let's go. Crazy, John. I don't think you saw this, but it does appear Elijah Dotson's heading to Missouri. That just broke about 7 minutes ago.
Whoa, breaking news there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up with anything we might have missed. But yeah, so there's that. And we'll get into all that. We're going to talk about additions, subtractions, where we stand. We got a lot to talk about, boys. It's interesting. And I'll tell you this. I think there's a lot. I'll just say there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. Before we do want to remind you that Michigan Wolverines Live is brought to you by FanDuel. And it's currently, Indiana is favored by 8.5 to win the national championship. I personally am gonna pound. I'm gonna take Indiana to cover. I think Indiana's gonna win by more than 8.5. I think they're gonna beat Miami by about 2 touchdowns. What say you on Indiana and Miami?
You know, it's tough. I mean, it's tough because, you know, these teams have never been in this position, but it does appear you're probably on path, John. Signetti's just got those boys cooking. I'd probably take the over as well. I mean, look what they did to Oregon. They railroaded
demolished them.
Railroaded them, man. And Miami's not special. So, I mean, I just, I think you might be on path there. That's probably the bet I would make as well.
Boom. So before we get to, I know everybody's waiting for Portal. We have a couple of super chats that we want to say thank you right off the top. And some of this we'll say, we'll cover it later in the show. But Dougie with the 5, asking about the linebackers in the Portal, probably our weakest position. Jeremiah Smith is in trouble when he's across from who we're about to talk about in the breaking news. Smith Snowden, go Blue. Thank you, Dougie Fresh, for the 5. We got Earl. What's this? I hear about a player or coach being a rotten apple, and did we get rid of them? We can definitely address that as well. But go ahead, TJ.
Well, I'll just say this: Lamar Morgan didn't do any favors on his way out.
Yeah,
he essentially set fire to the DB room, and I will say that that's a cause of the exodus. That now granted, relationship mattered. But from my understanding, he essentially told everyone to jump ship. So,
yep, Lamar Morgan reportedly not did not kind of. There was a lot going on there with Lamar Morgan, and we'll just leave it there. Not a lot, as you could see, most of his squad going to the portal and transferring out versus a lot of the other position groups.
Yeah.
Travis says first his son, then nephew transferring in. If that's what it took to get Tony Alford to stay, well worth it. But can we get some DT help? Travis, we're going to tell you about some DT help that we are getting confirmed coming in. But I agree, always could use more, especially with trench play needing to improve from 2025.
Yeah, we're definitely going to hit on the defense. I mean, I know my boy Juju's here. We share a very similar mindset on this current roster, and we'll be hitting on that this show as well.
Boom! We got Quinn coming in hot with the 100 burger.
I know what to do for his emoji, but we have to build. So I'll talk to you off air. We got a plan. We got a plan, Quinn. I think you'll like it. I got a plan.
Okay.
Share with John though.
We in this bitch. Appreciate that.
Appreciate
Andrew with the 5. Is there a risk that the same admissions issue that affected Uluave will affect Snowden and Leah? They are also juniors, so we are going to cover this topic later in the show, but I don't know if you wanted to address anything here.
I'm sorry, the chat just sometimes catches my attention. All right, so this is interesting because all right, so the Uluve situation, that's credits. That was and I think we will hit on that more. That was a credit situation I'm sure many of you know, we have a 60 credit limit. Anything above 60, Michigan will not even recognize if you can even get 60, because some of your credits won't even transfer, even if you go to Stanford. We've talked about this before. So that's interesting. I'll say this because this has been an honest question. By all accounts, the Snowden situation is fine. I don't know why that's different. But it is, and I don't know why. Now regarding Leah, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I think his first name's Jonathan or Jonah. But so from my understanding, there was something unique about him where he didn't quite meet the junior threshold or something like that. Let me see if I can figure it out. So actually he's a sophomore, so he's academically a sophomore, so that's fine. I just looked that up, so that's not an issue. I know it shows. That's interesting. I know it shows he played 3 years. What was behind this? I looked at this earlier. There was a reason. There was like a loophole with him. Let me just double. Okay, so he redshirted his first year, but you would think, well, then he'd be. So he's clearly a redshirt sophomore. You would think that he'd still be classified as a junior academically. I'll be honest, boys. It's a fair ass question. I don't know. I will say this: they have not resolved. I know there were some people who were like, "Well, did they resolve the 60 credit or the academic transfer limitations?" They have not. So part of me wonders. This is just me thinking about this internally, because kids are getting money. Are they like F these credits? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about losing some credits. I'm not sure. It's a new era. But we definitely took an L on the linebacker front and we're going to get into that because I have an opinion on that I want to get out.
And I will just say BYU accepts more credits than Michigan. So that's clearly. They
most schools
30 more for 4 years.
Really? Theirs is 90?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. If it's from a 4-year institution, then yeah.
And that limits us so much for these kids who are juniors who are really good. I mean, it limits. We can only get, for those who don't know, we can only get freshmen, sophomores, or graduates. That's it. If you're a senior but haven't graduated, not going to happen. And that we saw that last year with my guy from Connecticut, the wide receiver,
Skylar Bell.
Yeah, that happened last year. He was a semester away from graduation. We couldn't get him. And then with juniors, there's no go. Ask Juwan Howard how that goes.
Yeah. We'll cover it a little more later in the show. D.O.N.D. He said this is his first super chat. Let me see if I can pull the comment, because it was a cool one. I should have started, but thank you for doing that. I really, really appreciate this being your first super chat. There it is. First time I've ever done this. Your channel is worth it. Keep it up. What does Smith addition to guys like Earls? Definitely gonna cover that. But very,
we will hit on major addition for Michigan. I'm very happy with that.
Austin, what up, boys? Go Blue. This is his first month of membership. Thank you for renewing for another month. Appreciate you. Wolverine Not So Casual Remaining portal needs, in order of importance, in my humble opinion: retain Edda or similar D tackle, tamper for impact starting linebacker, add starter safety, add cornerback depth to replace Dodson.
Calhoun's interesting proposal. I mean, you're on the right path. If you notice, there's a focus on defense. We are going to hit on that because
we
have some questions. We have some questions that we got to figure out.
So why don't we tackle the breaking news, or semi-breaking at this point? So Smith Snowden, who was somebody that we were talking about as a potential flip, he is the number 3 cornerback in the portal, 85 tackles, 17 deflections, a forced fumble, 4 interceptions. This guy is legit.
You know, it sucks we lost Aluve because Snowden is going to be a cornerstone player for us. Now, this is his huddle tape. Obviously, we can't play his college film due to copyright. Correct. But Snowden, to me, is a cornerstone player on Hill's defense. You know, Aluve would have been a cornerstone player. Biles would have been even better, which we'll talk about. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where this was an important piece, John, because, and we are going to, you know, I'm trying to reserve some of it, but I may just go in right now. Like, defense has so many question marks and so many holes. We need proven producers. We also need guys who have familiarity with the coaching staff. Now, granted, Hill came from BYU. I get it. But Snowden has obviously familiarity with the Utah staff, which should allow an easier transition. But yeah, this kid's a dog, dude. And then when you look at our back set, when you look at our back, not our back 7, but if you look at our back 4, it's very promising, you know, especially when you look at, you know, the possibility of Moa coming as a true freshman and what kind of impact he could possibly have in terms of playing, which we'll get into that also. But, and that's trending well, just to get that out of the way. That's trending obviously clearly well. He wouldn't have entered the portal unless, you know, yeah, so this was good. This was really good. I'm very happy with this because I am concerned about the F and defense, dude. We're gonna get into that. I think it's something we need to address, but this is definitely in the right direction and makes us a better team. Period. This kid is going to be, you know, and just so anyone who's like, well, what position is he gonna play? He's gonna play nickel for us. You know, I'm unsure if there's any hybrid potential. In terms of like back end safety or like any safety hybrid role in Hill's defense, but because he does run essentially a 4-2-5. But yeah, good get physical. I mean, playmaker. You know, the other, you know, one of the other guys which we'll talk about is one of the other portal additions, which we'll get into later. Actually, we'll get into it later, but you know, there's some good on him too.
Yeah. Yeah, Hill runs a 4-2-5 and they shift to a 4-3, depending on the personnel grouping on the other side. So they'll go into a 4-3, they'll go into multiple. Juju said it best, he's very multiple. So that, yeah, they have a base formation, but they do lots of different things. I'm pretty pumped about it, actually. Just for a change of pace, and maybe Jay Hill actually spies a running quarterback. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, so
we'll just blitz a gap.
There
a gap blitz, John. That's all you get is an a gap blitz. All right, go on.
Let Whit cook, because it isn't just Smith Snowden. Whittingham is bringing in my opinion, some top players, and I've got the 5 that I'm most excited about here at the top of the screen. Not saying the other players aren't going to do amazing things for the university, but these 5 are in particular really exciting gets. Smith Snowden, we just talked about. JJ Buchanan, who's getting pulled from Utah. He was a tight end wide receiver hybrid, but he's listed for Michigan as a straight up wide receiver. And so that Michigan has entered him in as a wide receiver. So I'm thinking that's the room he's going to be utilized in primarily.
Yeah, he's going to play. Well, all right. So this is all right. So I love what we did on offense. I love this because, keep that. Well, I was going to say keep the graphic up, but who's this? Is this Buchanan or?
Yeah, this is Buchanan for a second.
Okay, and he was a true freshman last year, so his huddle film is more relevant. But what I love about what Michigan has done, let's just focus offensively for the time being. Buchanan, Jamie French, obviously the Taylor
Mhm.
Tatum edition. But let's look at the pass catchers. What you have with Andrew March, Jamie French, and JJ Buchanan is three versatile guys who can play inside and outside. JJ Buchanan can not only play in the slot, but he can also play, on the outside, play that X
Yep.
role, right? Play that big body receiver, stretch the field a little bit. He's got some speed. Jamie French can play not only inside, very similar player to Andrew Marsh, by the way,
Mhm.
inside, outside. So when you have, and here's what I really love about it. What else is Jason Beck known for? The most personnel groupings in college football. Completely throwing the opposing defense for loops. Now, when you have three wide receivers who can be versatile, they can play inside, they can play outside, it's going to confuse the defense. It allows you, when you have an aggressive running game, which we will have. He had the number 2 running game in the nation last year. When you have an aggressive running game and you have multiple personnel groupings and you have wide receivers who play multiple roles, which is what you will have with Buchanan, French, and Andrew March, who, like I said, inside and outside. These defenses they're going to have a harder time reading this. It should allow Michigan to have advantage. And then when you add in that Beck and Whittingham want the quarterback to run, it is going to be a defensive nightmare. This is the most talent we have had at all three skill group levels from tight end. Well, the depth of the tight end room could use some work, but in terms of the starting level, it's the most we've had, and I don't even know how long, quite frankly. I mean, like, do we want to argue the wide receiver room? Who was our running back at the time? Was it Devon Smith? Who was our running back with DPJ, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, before Tariq Black even broke his feet? Or you can go a year later, Ronnie Bell. But
Karan Higdon at some
was
point.
it Higdon? That's solid. It's solid, but look at our running back room. We have 3 top 5 overall positional group. Now, Taylor Tatum's got a lot to prove, which we'll get into that, but he was the number 1 running back in 24. Go on.
Before we get to other positions and other things, where do you envision JJ Buchanan, Jamie French, Andrew Marsh in the 3 kind of main positions of a wide receiver?
It's such a great question because, I mean, look, it's clear Buchanan's going to be your X, but I mean, like I said, all right, so traditionally it'd probably go something like this. It'd probably go Buchanan X, Marsh your Z, because that's what he played a lot of last season. And then French will be your Y. But, like, I don't think they're going to stick to that. I think they're honestly going to move these kids around like chess pieces. And I think you're going to see Buchanan as a slot, and you'll get French and Marsh on the outside. They like to run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. You have these guys. What we do know is Buchanan's not going to line up inside. We know that. Hogan Hansen, he's going to be lining up inside. We understand this. Buchanan, so Muse says, and Muse is like, Buchanan's a tight end. Well, no, he's actually not. So one, he was officially announced as a wide receiver for Michigan by Michigan, but 2, he only had 11 snaps as a tight end. The rest of his snaps were on the outside.
They basically converted him at Utah.
Yeah, because he's so athletically gifted. And then I was talking to a friend, and we were like, well, who would be his comparison? Who is JJ Buchanan? Now I'm gonna give a very high bar here. But it's because there's not a lot of tight ends like this. It's Trey McBride. JJ Buchanan is because, the individual I was speaking with said Colston Loveland, but the truth is JJ Buchanan.
I was going to say Colston Loveland.
Well, but the problem with that is JJ Buchanan doesn't have the inside game that Colston Loveland was. Lining up inside, he doesn't have that, nor does he have the weight. Like, he is really more of a wide receiver frame. I think he's 6'5", 235 is JJ Buchanan's numbers. I want to say, or was it 225? I could be. Let's just double check real quick. So they have him listed. See, they got him listed as 208, but that's as a true freshman. He's gained some weight, so he might be 220. Who knows? But
225 on
Juju says Devin Funches. Devin Funches. I can. But to me, it's Trey McBride. I think Trey McBride. They have similar playing styles. They are essentially just wide receivers at a tight end. Although he's playing wide receiver. But that's who I like. That's my comparison is Trey McBride. Who happens to be, well, he's 240 in the NFL. Goddamn, Trey. But that's where I'd go there. Jamie French, I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of us are hype about it, but I know there's been some fans who are like, why the funny thing to me, and if you find it yourself in this bucket, it's all love, but like they're like, well, why are we excited about Jamie French? Extremely gifted. I mean, look, he just had a year as a true freshman. Like we got to recognize a lot of true freshmen don't run. They don't get play. They just don't. A lot don't. Some do. Okay, like some do, but a lot of programs do have a stockpile, and they just don't get the run. Jamie French showed everything in high school. There's no reason he should not be. And I said this in my player analysis. I do anticipate a year like this year. Andrew Marsh was it 700 yards? How many touchdowns? I expect a year like Andrew Marsh had this year for Jamie French next season. That's my expectation for him. But
and
I
if
do
they
think
play
Andrew
him
Marsh
primarily at the slot, then that makes sense, right? If JJ and then Marsh take the X and Z, or however they go X and Z there, then yeah, French is probably not going to have 1,000-yard.
No,
but
it's very hard to achieve.
But they'll, I like you said, I think they're going to move these guys around. They
will.
They run a lot of 11 personnel, but Beck doesn't limit himself to 11 personnel either. So I think you're going to see these guys in different
because they have the multiple personnel groupings, and that's the other thing too is like I want to see how creative he gets with all these weapons. You have and then my guy mentions Jamar Browder, but we're just talking about the transfer portal additions right now. But look, when you have the running backs you got Marshall, you got Savion Hyder. I think Savion Hyder is going to have a lot of impact. I really do. I think he's going to make plays as a true freshman. I think many of us agree with this. That's not some crazy take. Taylor Tatum will get some run, but Taylor Tatum's got a lot to prove, and he definitely needs to hang on to the football. Last year he was injured, but I think when you add that versatility, you add the wide receiver, the skill position versatility, and then with Celi Moa projected, who's not yet committed, who is a top 50 player. The current vibe is he's gonna play offense. He may get a run in the at the back end safety side too. They may let him play both, but the current vibe is he will play wide receiver. So now you add that true freshman to the room. It's a pretty good, talented room with Travis Johnson and Jamar Browder, like one of the posters or one of the viewers just mentioned. So offensively, and I don't know if we're at the point in the show where we're giving our analysis here, John, but
also don't forget about Jacob Washington is another name that
another
could be
player needs to develop.
Too.
And a former 4-star who's got some speed to him, but offensively, I think Michigan has done an outstanding job. I think offensively, when you look at the offensive line returns and you look at the additions, from Malachi Lee, and you look at now the Ty Haywood situation, that's wild. I mean, that's just a wild loss of $1 million, really. But regardless, offensively, Michigan's done their job. Offensively, Michigan is in a position where they just need to now stack recruiting classes and supplement through portal going forward. Everything is in place where they need it. We didn't even talk about the QB death that was brought into the room. Excellent. Braden Fowler, this kid here, in my opinion, I mean, look, we know why he's here, okay, and it's not to play, but he has experience. Like he has reps, he has time on task, he's seen defenses. He was actually productive. To have him now in the quarterback room with Bryce Underwood, that's beneficial. Then you have Colin Hurley, so now you have a younger developmental player who has not lived up to his high school, hype. But very talented, very skilled, did the unfortunate thing. A lot of quarterbacks, they make this mistake. They classify a year before they should. I believe he was supposed to be a 20. I know he reclassified 1 year earlier is what he did. And let me just tell you, quarterbacks who do that, and we just saw that happen with Brady, my guy from Florida.
Smeagol?
No, the other one. We lost him. Remember he went to Texas A&M because he reclassified? Shit, what's his name?
Brady Hart?
Yes. So he reclassified. Never ever. I mean, not ever, never ever. But that never works. It has not worked yet. I don't think there's a single quarterback it's succeeded with. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But very rarely does that work for any position player, let alone a quarterback. Yeah, Brady Hart. So but at end of the day, offensively, Michigan's done well. Michigan has done very well. Defensively, we got work to do. Special teams, we'll see. look, Nico Crawford probably is a dog, in terms of his ability to snap the ball. Looking forward to that. Trey Bukowski, John,
Friend of the
big,
program.
yeah. Listen, I love an accurate kicker, and that's what Bukowski appears to be inside the 50. That's cool. Kerry Combs, I think we have trust in Kerry Combs. I mean, he's shown us enough where we got trust for Kerry Combs. Plus, he's a great recruiter. Cam Brown, not a home run, but hopefully is more consistent than Hollenbeck. So, and then, if we look at the defensive, all right. So, do we want to get into defense, John? Is this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we talk about like who's like obviously we got some names here. I think they've done a great job with kind of the like especially some of the various position groups. Like I think we could really utilize another D lineman, another linebacker. But I do think that on the edge, safety, especially with who they're bringing back to, cornerback is obviously they're bringing back Jair Hill. We'll talk about him and Zeke Berry in a little bit, but I am a little concerned, TJ, about the D line, like adding an extra D lineman, an extra linebacker. I feel like those are kind of some key holes, but
Well, let's hit on it. I mean,
let's hit on it.
so I'm very concerned. I am very concerned about our defense, and I'll tell you why. Because although we added John Henry Daly, and I mentioned this in my reaction video to Jamie French, that's a very serious injury. Like now,
Right.
I'm not counting him out, but I am aware that the recovery of that injury and his ability to get back to 100% is not probable. Like it's just not, and it's something that needs to be acknowledged. Now, it doesn't mean he won't get to 90%. It doesn't mean he won't get to 90. Like it doesn't mean he can't produce again at a high level, but it's very unlikely he'll be able to play at the level he was playing at the year prior. It's just, especially when he should be back by April, May, or yeah, about May. And if he's back by May, that only gives him 3 months to get into game shape after being off of it. Like it's to me, it's like with ACLs. ACLs truly take 12 to 18 months to truly recover. This is an
Right.
Achilles. This is an Achilles, bro. So like we are literally hoping as a fan base and as a coaching staff, they are hoping that this kid can have an impact. Well, who's playing opposite of him? Is it Nate Marshall? Because I don't know. Do you know? Because we don't know. And then
We don't
defensive
know.
tackle. We're talking right now about Enow Etta. Can I
Right.
just, and look, I'm not, again, many of you know how I operate. I'm not trying to raise any alarms. I'm not trying to, but okay, Enow Etta, right? When at all this year did you say Enow Etta's a dog and we got one? Give me that moment. I missed it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
to
he was
me,
behind some other guys, obviously, but he did get
he's not,
rotated in.
he's never flashed like that. He has never ever flashed. He is a body and he's older, so he has some development and some size to him. But when I look at the interior of the defensive line, I have a lot of questions. I know Michigan's trying to retain Etta and Pierce right now, which is crazy that we're still playing that retention game, but they are. But defensive tackle, question marks. Even edge, yes, I'm a big fan of Nate Marshall. Yes, Carter Meadows, big fan. Unproven. Has not. So we have a guy coming off a very serious injury. We're hoping can play at 80, 70, 75, 80, 75% or better. We're hoping. Anything less than that would suck. And then we're hoping that one of these very talented Dominic Nichols, Nate Marshall, Carter Meadows, or one of these other really impressive defensive line class we brought in, which is a very impressive defensive line class. Titan Davis, Alistair Vallejo, Tariq Bonney, and Mikhail Blade is impressive, but they're freshmen, and it's hard to count on that. So yes, defensive line, I'm concerned. Then let's get into linebacker, John.
Yeah, that's the one for me, TJ, that is the biggest worry. Because let's be honest, we weren't exactly lighting it up in the in recruiting for the linebacker position in general. And then with the portal, we've currently got, and granted, Max Alford, glad that we got him for sure.
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 Keeps Tony happy. I'm happy.
But aside from that, like, who's it going to be? Dabney, Nob. I'm just trying to think of like.
Yeah. So Nathan Owasu Boateng is somebody that will, you know, listen, Chase Taylor, who that was my little hidden gem the year prior. I was a big fan of Chase Taylor. Nathan Wasu Boateng has apparently flashed in practice and bowl practice, and there's a lot of excitement there. But listen, I'll be honest, and I think many of us, if you haven't come to the realization what I'm about to say, you've thought about it subconsciously. Michigan just misplayed this linebacker position. I mean, with Biles, they let Biles walk because they thought they can get Alluve. Alluve, unfortunately, we had the admissions issue. This coaching staff is not as familiar. I'm sure they're aware, but they're not as familiar as the hurdles of these admissions can be. We, to Juju's point, mentioned it earlier, tamper. We have got to get a linebacker that is damn good. We need a damn good linebacker because we lost Sullivan. This is a concern. We're going to rely our front seven, and now look, patience, because portal's not done. The portal ends this Friday, and all that matters is kids got to enter by the end of the portal. Michigan can still sign players after the portal window closes. Michigan has work to do on this front seven. This front seven is not good enough. It's just not. So especially if we look at our schedule, and then for example, Jonah Leah Aya, I think I got it, by the way, Leah Aya, but dog, he's 275. And you got to get some weight, son. We got to get that weight up because this is the Big Ten. That 275 stuff's not going to work. Big 12, it's just not. So he's got to get his weight up. John Daly, we got to get him healthy. And then we got to hope some of these young, impressive prospects can take that step. But let's also not lie to ourselves. There's not a single one, as much as I love Nate Marshall, who shined enough this past season where we're like, oh, we got one. There hasn't been. And if there is, let me know. Let me know who that was.
Yeah.
But we all know. We
did have a commenter mention Bowles. So I do think Troy Bowles is going to be is going to play a role. I do think that.
Well, of course. I mean, there's not many bodies in that room. I like Troy Bowles, by the way. This isn't me knocking, but we're going to rely on currently as it stands. Again, there's still time. But currently, we're going to rock with Nathan Owasu Boateng, Chase Taylor, Troy Bowles, Max Alford.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah, it's not great. You got Markel Dabney.
Yeah, we do have Markel Dabney, but he's a true freshman. He's not playing.
But he's a true freshman, so it is a thin room.
It's a very thin room. Biles was the answer. Just so we are very clear, Biles was they should have put the money up for that, but they held back because they thought they knew they were going to get one of the. They thought they were going to get one of the two. That's their logic, and that's why they let Biles go because the price just got high. It didn't work out, man.
Real quick, before I make my next point, I want to encourage everyone to stop what they're doing and hit the like button. If you do that, it's going to keep bumping this thing up there. Hit that like button right now if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for that. I will say one thing. I'm a smidge less worried about it. If this was the exact identical situation, but it was Sharon Moore, I would be more worried than this current situation with this current coaching staff, because I feel like we've elevated in one of the most important areas in all of football, which is strength and conditioning, right? We went from Tress to Elisaya, who is a 20-year veteran of college football and working with Whittingham. I'm very excited about that. I think that Kyle Whittingham is a proven builder of talent, just like Harbaugh in that way. I think he's got some Harbaugh in him when it comes to cultivating talent, doing more with less. And in this case, with Michigan, he has more than he had at Utah, at least in terms of resources and things like that. I think the coaching staff, including on defense, is a step up. So am I worried about linebacker? Am I worried about D-line? Yeah. But I also think that this staff is going to figure it out. And we're still not done, like you said.
Yeah. And look, everything you said, John, is 100% true. We have a way better coaching staff. We have, we have an NFL coach at linebacker, who has done a very good job with the linebacker room in Kansas City. I mean, yes, these matter, right? I mean, look, you look at Indiana, outside of obviously they have the age advantage, okay? It's actually funny because college hockey does that same thing with the age stuff. So I just find it funny that Indiana has such a advantage. But anyways, point being is when you have coaches though who can have the players play above their talent level, that matters. So like that's a thing that's definitely in play. It's just I hate counting on that, dude. Like it's tough to. I want a roster that I. This is selfish, but I think many of us agree. But it does sound very selfish as I say it. I want a roster that I'm confident in as a fan. Now, granted, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like my confidence does not determine wins and losses. But I will say, when I'm confident about it, I typically, typically things result well. My confidence in this front seven, back four, I think I'm good. I think I'm actually pretty confident. I'm actually going to build that Excel sheet because I really need to see this all on paper or like all in front of me. But because I've just been watching the whole like chaos like everybody else. I mean, look at today. I mean, in the last 4 hours, look how much movement there's been with our team. But yeah, I just feel we do have the coaches in place that should help these guys. And it's not like these rooms are devoid of talent. It's not that they're not devoid of talent. It just hasn't been realized. It's just untapped potential right now. Now it still can, and it may work out great. But I'll say even so, defensive tackle, regardless, I don't see that answer right now. And I know like we're hanging our hat on Trey Pierce and Inaleta. Them boys got to take a big jump. Yep. Like Trey Pierce, I will argue out of all the defensive linemen who are not with us or who are still with us, he's the one who probably showed the most promise was Trey Pierce. That's just kind of, so we're hoping. I mean, it's hope. It is hope. I mean, that's just where we are with this front seven. It's hope right now. We have to trust that we have to count on this coaching staff getting this front seven right. And plus scheme two. Like the scheme can make the players better too. Players fit scheme and scheme can cover lapses in roster talent. So we're gonna have to wait and see, but and also before we close on this, the window's not closed. There's still opportunity, and let's see what Michigan can do. Hopefully they fill some spots.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the Sharon Moore era was when we were hoping. I do think that there's more solidifying with this coaching staff and their proven ability to develop talent, right? It does, like I said, it does remind me of Harbaugh. And I understand there are holes, but I also feel 10 times more confident than I did when we thought Sharon Moore was coming back for another year. And I was ready to give a 6-6 prediction. So
what, next year?
Yeah, Shit. I was gonna probably go 6-6 when I thought about it. And and this year could be, we're not gonna give our prediction just yet because of all this still going on, but I feel better.
You know what's crazy? If we would have landed Biles and then landed like a legit ass defensive tackle, I think we'd all be ready to go. I think that's really what it is. Like, I mean, there's enough that we just need I think we need two big pieces, and then like one in the linebacker and then one on the defensive line to help John Daly, to help Nate Marshall, to help Trey Pierce. And then I feel like that, then we're like, all right, this could be a playoff team. Like I'll say that right now. I'll say it right now. F it. I got no issues with this and I have looked at the roster and the schedule next year. We will obviously go over that once this portal's done. But I think if we could, now what sucks is but it doesn't mean anything because look at how they landed my guy Chris Bracey, which by the way, we didn't even talk about that. That's actually a really solid addition.
Really? That's why I have him as one of my top 5. Chris
Yeah,
Bracey.
That's actually a really solid addition. Very productive kid. And I think he'll
116 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, 11 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. He's a good player.
Well, look, the Chris Bracey one was silence. Like that's one that Taylor Tatum, John. These things were not nobody. nobody was talking. Nobody, like, everybody has some in, not everybody, there's ins various places, right? But nobody had. So the hope is there's potentially a defensive tackle that they're working on behind the scenes that we are unaware of. Same for linebacker. Now, if a name emerges, great, but if not, but just get it done. We need a defensive tackle. We need a linebacker, and if they don't get a defensive tackle, give me another edge, somebody I can count on. That's where I'm at right now. And if you can give me 2 defensive linemen, even better. But I don't know. There's a part of me that's concerned because what's being discussed right now with this NIL stuff is we are now seeing rosters touch 40 million. Michigan is not at 40 million. Michigan's in the mid 30s. So I'm wondering how much cap is left. Now, is it possible they can make a phone call and squeeze some more money? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know those dynamics, but I'm wondering how much is left in the spending, because the truth is retaining all these guys and all these kids who jumped in the damn portal, it's like it took a lot of money. Like, and some of these were not expected. Some of these were not expected. So, especially the DB room, the way that, like, the TJ Metcalf was not expected. That situation was not expected. But, and obviously, he's trending Tennessee. I don't know if he's committed to him yet or not, but I know he's trending Tennessee. So, it's one of those things where hopefully we got some extra funds. Hopefully Michigan's doing some work, back channeling, calling agents and seeing if they can get these kids to jump in the portal. And then yeah, we'll see where we're at, man.
Yeah, here's what I would say. From what I've been reading, that Michigan is ready to pony up for a top linebacker.
Good.
So that's something Chris Ballas has mentioned, and we
okay, I didn't see that. So that's good news if true.
Yeah, one of our commenters just mentioned it, so I'm mentioning it, and there's also some talk about Cam Calhoun, the cornerback from Alabama, potentially.
I would like Cam Calhoun. Yeah,
so
formerly of Utah. He played at Utah too. I liked Cam Calhoun when he was at Michigan previously, but I really need defensive line help. I don't understand the lack of. I don't understand the lack of attention to that position group. We've heard nothing besides John Henry Daly. So I don't know. I find that interesting.
Well, there is a little bit of. We do want to share another positive piece. Who's next? Well, I encourage everybody to watch out for Celi Moa, who's considered an athlete, but originally committed as a wide receiver to Utah, but obviously is considered a two-way player. Plays corner as well. But he could take some snaps at wide receiver for a trick play or some type of play like that.
Yeah, so Celi Moa, this is interesting because it wasn't going to be a thing, right? But then now that we're obviously talking to his brother, the other Moa at Michigan State, who's a linebacker. That's probably going to happen. He's going to transfer here from Michigan State. We're going to get Celi Moa. That's like very probable. And I don't know how soon that'll be. It could be tomorrow, maybe. But in my opinion, this is a great get though. Are you able to pull up his huddle tape? Because his is also very relevant considering he's a true freshman.
Can get
but yeah, Celi Moa. What's interesting to me though is Michigan initially, now clearly they're not here anymore, but initially Michigan was looking at him as a defensive back. Utah clearly sees him as an offensive player who can play defense. There has been some discussion of two-way play with this kid. Now just envision Celi Moa. So here he clearly plays slot. But he's got this little like quick thing to him, he's not the most traditional runner. He's got a little, I don't know. It's a little like unorthodox, his running style, but who gives a shit as long as you're fast? Clearly, obviously, I think many of us agree technique can improve running, but some people just have their own style. But adding him to the wide receiver room, why not? This kid's talented. He's athletic, top 50 player for a reason, highly sought after. I think this is a big. I think this is a big win. You know, I mean, I will say this. I kind of wanted to play DB just because we need it. But if they want to put him at wide receiver, then let's see it. Now, I will say there is an expectation that if this kid comes to Michigan, which again is probable, he's gonna play like he will get reps as a true freshman. Like he's a kid you don't keep off the field is what is kind of the buzz. So yeah, good for us, man. We'll take it, you know, especially after some of the losses we've had. But yeah, I mean, like that's right, like you know, his ability to return.
Yeah.
He's just a bit of a he's just an athlete who's a playmaker, you know. So we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at all.
For sure. So before we get to some of the transfers out and those who stay,
time out. Okay, so what's first give? So D original, he says it. He said Sanders still. I will say I thought about it, like so, like you know, Sanders still initially a wide receiver, a wide receiver.
Good call.
I hope they do put him at DB because I'll be honest. All right, watching Jamie French, watching Andrew Marsh, like I see a more polished receiver. You obviously see athletic ability with Celi Moa. Clearly, he's a ball of clay, needs to be polished. But I feel personally the Sanders Still pathway is probably best for that kid. That's my opinion. We'll see. Maybe he balls out a wide receiver, and that's great. Either way, we'll take it. But I agree. I think the Sanders Still path is on the table for Celi Moa.
Thanks, Michigander, for encouraging everyone to hit that like button. Let's go ahead and we have quite a few super chats we want to say thank you to.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so Ryan Hall, first of all,
thank you, Ryan,
with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Ryan, for doing that. Always coming in hot with the gifted memberships. Appreciate that. And T Hambones here joining us. Old Man Logan and Michigan have the number 18 class in the portal. Not good. What are they doing to address the linebacker, DT, and OT positions? So we touched on the linebacker one where it does seem like they're ready to pony up for a top linebacker. Obviously, there's, you know, so far it's Alford, so they need to shore that up in terms of the transfer portal pickups.
Well, I mean, so offensive tackle, I think we are very fine. I mean, you got Andrew Babalola, you got Andrew Sprague, even Evan Link had some run there.
Yeah, Garnero's back.
He'll play center. But offensive tackle is not a concern for me. You have Malachi Lee, true freshman, coming in. Now we know how that goes. Like, but we should be fine. Offensive line should be fine. I mean, right guard is a question mark. We don't necessarily know who's going to play that position right now. Is it Brady Norton? I don't know. We'll see. He's back also. But yeah, linebacker, defensive tackle, fair questions. We are all watching that right now because that's like. If they can land 2 defensive linemen and a linebacker who are impact players, playoffs, son. Like I'll just say it. I don't see why we wouldn't be a playoff team. I know our schedule is tough, but that's our front seven's the deficit right now. We have to. Hopefully, they add some talent to that.
Agree. And I think it's coming. I think at various position groups, I think they are gonna they're gonna try to get another lineman and definitely linebacker. Adam for the 25. Adam here, host of our Rutgers Scarlet Knight show, the voice of college football. Michigan needs a QB competition next year. Underwood he's on the Underwood train again, has clear flaws and showed limited growth. Kyle Whittingham should be nervous. If Michigan disapproves of wife Jamie, he'll be fired like Sharon. Michigan hates romance. Adam is just on one tonight. I get what you're saying, but I genuinely believe that it was a coaching failure. You could just tell, and if you watch Devin Gardner and Jake Butt's latest show, they were talking about this, how he started off pretty strong and crisp, and then over the season it dipped, and I think that's coaching.
Well, did you see the Urban Meyer Whittingham? That clip has circulated. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yep.
Listen, there was no dedicated quarterback coach to Bryce Underwood, and anyone who's watched our show knows I have repeatedly, and I'll just say it again because Devin Gardner was 100% effing right. He mentioned the regression, the concern for regression, and then if you watch the clip with Kyle Whittingham, Urban Meyer, which I recommend, it's not that long and it's actually pretty good. you know, Urban Meyer says, like, I saw a better player in the beginning of the year versus weeks 10 and 11. And we mentioned that as well. Like, clear the first 4 weeks of the season, we were like, oh, Underwood is poised. Underwood is patient. Underwood, the first and second levels, he's doing such a good job distributing the ball, has to work on that third level, has to get more air under that deep ball throw. But, the kid just did not have the environment to succeed. He didn't have the weapons to count on. I mean, he just didn't. Marsh didn't even start playing until week 4 consistently. I mean, he had some run against Oklahoma, but it didn't work out. But yeah, he just didn't have the environment. Underwood has absolutely everything he needs to succeed now. The offensive line's in front of him. He needs to trust the offensive line. He has the dedicated quarterback coach. He has weapons from wide receiver to running back. Tight end, still a question mark. I know people are hanging on the Hogan Hansen situation. We'll
Zach
see.
Marshall.
Zach Marshall. Now, Zach Marshall, I do think is intriguing. That's an intriguing player, but we got to see more out of him. But we saw some dog on him, I think. But yeah. So he has the environment to succeed, and he'll have the coaching staff. And to your point, John, the strength and conditioning coach, like the culture, the environment. I think. Not, and I know I'm taking the super chat to a long point. I think we're going to be all right. I think Underwood's going to take a nice progression from year 1 to year 2, which is typically the biggest leap anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I think look out for a major leap. Coy Detmer Jr. is a legit coach, in my opinion. I think he's a great coach. Obviously, Beck will be helping out with the quarterback coaching as well. And
there's a clip of Coy Detmer headbutting another player with a helmet on. Did you ever see this?
Oh,
let me see if I can find it. It's pretty worthy.
All right.
Pretty worthy.
Beck will also help coach the quarterbacks, and look at what he did with Dampier this year. Devin Dampier at Utah. I think that speaks for itself. The growth that he had as a quarterback under Beck. So I think we're in a different scenario than we were in with Chip Lindsey and Synagoga. The previous QB coaching duo.
Yeah,
Synagoga
Antrim more, right?
Synagoga needed to get out of here. So now we got Coy Detmer Jr. in that position.
Yeah, I can't find the video, but
all right.
I'm sure. I mean, it's on X. I'll see. I'm trying to find it.
We'll circle back. Courtney with the 5. I like what we have on defense because it'll be about fundamental D. I want ball hawk safeties, solid linebackers, playing stunts, and multiple moves from the D-line. Great news, Courtney. From what I understand, Hill does run some more stunts and twists than Wink.
The back end of Hill's defense, Hill runs a chaos defense, causes a lot of turnovers. They led either the conference in turnovers the year prior or something like that. Like, so he likes to do his blitzing strategically. And we should have turnovers. We should see the DBs producing on the back end. That's been kind of his calling card at BYU. So that's the thing. Now, in terms of, linebacker play, we're going to see with Alex Whittingham now here and how the linebackers are ran and who's actually our linebackers. That's like the biggest question for me. So it's so hard for me to commit to that idea. And then defensive line play. To be honest, we'll learn more there. I don't entirely understand the front 7, how he runs his front 7 fully. Well, I guess he runs a front 5 or 6, a front 6, because he typically has 5 DBs. Not always. Sometimes it transitions into a 4-3. But at the end of the day, but he does run a 4-2-5. He does run a 4-2-5
usually.
Yeah. And so we're gonna see. Now with that 5th DB though, you can do a lot with that. You can cause a lot of chaos with a 5th DB. I mean, so and when we look at like we mentioned earlier, Chris Bracey. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Chris Bracey's getting enough attention. I am more and more intrigued with him. When I build my Excel sheet, which I'll make a deal, I'll have it ready by next week for sure. I may have him. I don't know. I may have him starting. We'll see. I have to look at it more.
Well, snap. We'll check it out.
Well, because is Rod Moore going to be ready? Is he really? We hope.
We hope.
More hope. More hope.
But
I don't
that
play the
is
hope
that
game.
is genuine. That is genuine hope, and
I don't do that game, dude.
I do think that what he showed, I think they just, the load was a bit too much for him for the USC game. But then it's like, okay, well then, how many? He's going to be on a snap count.
Well,
If that's the case,
he
that he overextended himself in that game, but he did play excellently the game before. But it does seem like he overextended. So is he at a point where he could fully start from beginning to end of the game, or is he going to need to be on a snap count?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where he played, he felt good, but then he started getting inflammation. So I mean, there's clearly a
Right.
So who knows? Hopefully now he has another year. It's a shame, man, because I learned more about the surgery. I learned more about what happened. The initial surgery, they botched it. They didn't even fix it all the way. They did half of what they needed to do, which is why you had to get a second surgery. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, jeez, that is terrible.
It's terrible, man. Actually, I probably
Yeesh.
should put that out there. My bad. But anyways,
let's go to Daniel. So Dan, TJ, and John, what do you think about the freak D lineman out of Hope College?
yeah, it's
that
interesting.
Runs a 10-5. Shout out to subscriber Dan Bell.
It's interesting. I say why not take the swing? Yeah, so they're talking about the freak. This kid's like a freak, 6'5" or 6'4", like 235 or 240, maybe. I don't even know. But he's running, a 10-5, 100-meter. I think he had 18 sacks last year. He is playing Division III football, from my understanding. Oh, he said he declared for the NSCFL. I don't know. Haven't caught up with it. I saw his name mentioned earlier. But why not? I'm at the point now where it's like, just get me talent in that defensive line. I need, and hopefully the boys can make it work.
Cole says Buchanan is more of a big slot who will play mostly in 11 with the tight end in the slot. Marshall Hansen will be the inline. Browder will be on the field. So Browder,
maybe. I mean,
maybe
it's possible. Jamar Browder. The only reason why I don't mention Jamar Browder with the other names is because Jamar Browder has to get better in run blocking. Jamar Browder has to get better in route running. And he may be able to take that step for next season, but he hasn't yet. So imagine Jamar Browder out there with French and Marshall and then Buchanan, 4 wide receiver sets. I'm for it.
And let's not forget that Buchanan, French, and Marsh, they're paying cash money. And I'm not saying they're not paying some money for Browder, but they're paying cash money, straight cash money for Buchanan, French, and especially Andrew Marsh to come back.
They're not cheap. But look, it doesn't mean that Browder can't produce. He's not going to play. Of course he can. But it's one of those things. Again, we're hoping for the jump. When I give my projections or analysis of a position group, like, there's of course going to be some hope, especially with a true freshman coming out of high school, like we're talking Savion Hyder. But I can tell you with confidence, Savion Hyder is going to produce. Like that, we see this. This is very clear. His film is very transferable to the college game. He's he's very good. It's like Andrew Marsh when we did his. Like many of us have felt when we looked at Andrew Marsh in high school, we felt he'd produce as a freshman. We were talking about how long until he starts. This was a conversation in the offseason. Like this wasn't, but it wasn't like illogical, hope. It was literally his film translate. This kid's a dog. French, I feel the same way. Like I get the same vibes when I watch his film as I did Marsh. Buchanan's a no-brainer. He's already producing at this level. Browder, we'll see. Hoping for the best. Like that. Like no one's counting him out, but like it's hard to. I don't do the hope game. I'm not big on that.
Beats and Treats, thank you so much for the ask there. Lots of people in chat. Only 250 likes. What? That means 3/4 of you got to stop what you're doing. Hit that like button if you like the content. It's so quick to do. It just takes a second. Austin says, I'm super concerned with the D-line. With the amount of talent that's in the portal, why have we not reached out? Austin, how do you know we haven't?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible it hasn't reached, our ears, right? I mean, and I mean, when I mean our, I mean the Michigan fan base. Just like we did not hear about Taylor Tatum, Chris Bracey. These things were out of nowhere. Or the Colin Hurley. I mean, I know that name got mentioned the night prior, but some of these moves have been a little under the radar. I mean, so we're hoping that that's the case. Now, there we are with hope, but that's all we have with 4 days left in the portal. So, or 3 days left in the portal. So, now, mind you, let me just qualify. They can still sign players after the portal closes on Friday, but for guys to enter. So we'll see, brother. I mean, I think we all agree the front seven or front six, however you want to look at it, that's an area that needs attention for sure.
Some people in chat talking about Channing Goodwin, and I do believe Channing Goodwin may still get a little bit of run at the slot position, especially early on when they're breaking in everybody into the new offense.
Somebody will step up or not. That's not a name that's consistently. Somebody's going to catch the coach's eye. Somebody will take a step,
Anthony just throwing the 20 burger for TJ keeping it real on the defense.
Yeah,
very
I think
concerned.
It's fair. It's fair. It's like it's fair. I mean, just like how can you argue otherwise? How can you say, no, we're good, boys? Like, this is gonna be a top 20 defense guarantee. No, I personally do not see a top 20 defense right now. We're used to top 10 defenses,
Right.
So, like Wink Martindale had an 18th or 19th ranked defense this year. Who was happy? Now, granted, we have a new play caller and who will do different things, right? Because sometimes the play caller was the cause for mistakes on the defense. But, you do need Jimmys and Joes, man. And we are currently lacking unproven talent. There is talent. It's not void of talent, but unproven talent in those two position groups. My guy Ryan says this is going to be a top 10 defense. I'm sorry, top
110.
At least it ain't 130.
Yeah, like the passing offense from a couple of years ago. It's like 130. Yeah. I will say this: I would rather have a top 30 talent defense that has a better play caller and better overall discipline on the team, better overall. Let fewer penalties, all of that stuff, then if I had a top 10 ranked defense in terms of talent, with Wink Martindale or somebody else, like, I just think that, and Sharon Moore, I just think that because we have to have a little bit of a curve when it comes to this because of the difference, like I said a couple of times, in coaching ability. This new coaching staff is probably the best we could have hoped for, to be honest with you. I understand that we were very big on DeBoer, but
yeah,
I think this is turning out to be, in my opinion, at almost every position group. I think that we've upgraded, and so look out for a more well-run system once again.
Yeah, I mean, no, listen, I think all things considered, we may have lucked out with this coaching staff. Now, of course, we would have liked, Douglas at wide receiver and the Iowa linebacker coach at linebacker.
Yes.
I think it was a Mark Simpson or something like that. But it is Alex Whittingham. I mean,
Seth Wallace.
Yeah, Seth Wallace. What did I say? What did
Bart
I say?
Simpson.
But, yeah. I was close, but I mean, Alex Whittingham, I think is a quality kid as well, and Micah Simons actually has a pretty strong room right now. So I mean, we'll see how the recruiting goes for 27, but yeah, the coaching staff is good. We have a good coaching staff. It just comes down to a little talent, because let's just also keep it honest. This is about making the playoffs.
Yeah,
we gotta have enough talent. That's the other thing too.
We want playoffs here.
We have to have a quality offensively. I think I feel confident we have a playoff caliber offense. I feel confident that we do. Now, these kids got to get it together, and we got to get better. We got to take jumps, and Bryce has to lock in. Defensively, I can't say that. I cannot come on here and honestly talk to the audience and say we do. We don't. Well, all right. We on paper we don't. Now these kids can obviously shock us and do really well here, but to be determined.
Austin has an interesting point that we could have countered Texas on Biles. We were 200,000 under them. Again, reported. A lot of times we don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah.
But reported. He really wanted to be a Wolverine, but they never offered more.
So all right, let's just do a little brain exercise here. Okay, so let's just say that's true. Let's say that's accurate, and it was a 200K difference. That's a major mistake. I mean, 200K for a solution at that position. And not only that, that would have been, now, as crazy as this sounds, I just saw one of Christian Pierce. I don't know if people are throwing that name out there. I'll have to check him out. I don't know. I'd have to look him up. But is that the answer? I could fuck it. Do it live, John. Who is this?
I'm looking it up. I knew there might be somebody who gets rolled out during the broadcast. Christian Pierce, linebacker.
I'm seeing Christian Pierce safety. Shit. Help us out, chat.
Yeah, we're doing some live investigative journalism
I got it. Christian Pierce, University of Michigan did they already post this? That's crazy. I see it. Here, I'll share it on screen right now. How is this kid already the U of M account already posted this, which means he's already gone through admissions. This is what I mean, though. Like, they're moving in silence, bro. No one even knew about this. Not that I know of. Here, let's see. I'll share right here. All right, so let's look this guy up. Who is Christian Pierce? I'm unaware of Christian. Is he from USC? Is that what because he's listed as a safety for USC, at least by ESPN.
Outside linebacker listed at 247. Is this the one? Let's see.
So I mean, even in high school, he was a 4-star, but
USC. Okay.
Yeah, USC. That's what I found as well. 6'2". Interesting.
9 tackles, 23 games.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean. I was looking at his stats as well. I mean, okay. Unproven. We have another unproven ad. Like, we're gonna do this game. Remember, like, I am not trying to ring any alarms, but like, does anyone remember the additions of Deron Payne and Trey Williams? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
And then where'd they go?
That's interesting. He's Trey Pierce's brother. That's very interesting. Okay, that's interesting. We're learning as we go, boys, because I was unaware of this individual, but that's interesting. All right. Well, I mean, look, it's okay. So look, what do we fill in the linebacker room with? Alford's nephew, Trey Pierce's brother, and Moa's brother.
Oh boy.
Fuck. I need beer.
Nathan, let's go to Nathan. I'm sorry, I don't care how good he was. I'm not paying $3 million for a linebacker. Move Mason Curtis down to linebacker. That's my solution.
Yeah, I hear the Mason Curtis idea. I'm not even mad at that because he's athletic like that. That's a thought. The Mason Curtis idea. I mean, I don't know. Was Biles a $3 million offer? Or are we talking Sullivan? I'm not entirely sure, but
that sounds very high for even for Sullivan.
Dude, this portal was insane though. This portal's been insane. You got quarterbacks getting $5 million offers. You have the going rate for wide receivers $1 million plus. It was a wild portal. Wild.
Any chance Poly, Beagle, Hammond, or Kenka can take a leap on interior D-line? All three of them are headed into year 3 of the program. From Yo Mob, for the 5.
I really like Poly coming out of high school. Manuel Beagle was the German prospect that we athletic. but has not made it. Hammond, I honestly do not have. I'm not hoping. I just don't have any hope there. Kenka is high motor guy. But like look at the names we just listed. Like these are not proven. And not even that it's like a proven thing, but even like coming out of high school, like just we got to hope one of these kids can take that. I mean, any chance, sure. There's always like you hear about all the time. I mean, you hear about unranked kids turning into, these things happen. Now, these kids were not all unranked, so let me just qualify. I think Polly was a borderline 4-star. Beagle was, I think, a borderline 4-star. He actually shot up during his recruiting process. Hammond, I believe, was a 3-star, and Kinka initially started out as a 4-star, but fell to a 3. But we hope, man. That's what I hate saying it. What the worst thing is to say to an audience when given your analysis on a roster. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you've
hope.
been hearing that a lot today.
Yeah.
there is some hope and wishing in the in the defensive side of the ball. I will say, remember this: Lou Esposito was retained as interior D-line coach. Lewis Powell was brought in to coach edge, but I will say I think Esposito could develop Poly. I feel Poly out of those four excites me the most at who could take that leap. But this is a coaching staff that knows how to develop, and Esposito was retained he was one of only 3 coaches that Kyle Whittingham retained from the previous crew of jokers that was the MAC level coaching staff that we had for a while there. But Esposito was retained along with Alfred and Coombs. There's a reason. So
Yeah.
I think Poly could do it. Cole says Oregon guys are coming in, fellas. They all loved Witt at Utah. Look up Jericho Johnson if you feel bad about the D line right now. Oh, well, yeah, because Oregon is now that the playoff has happened, you're getting some playoff teams with some of these players entering in.
Right. That's going to be interesting too. Like, is there any play? Because right, so like, let's hit on that. So any team that plays in the national title game, their players will get a 5-day window to enter the transfer portal. So that could be a solution too. Let's not forget that either. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's go. But I am excited about the possibility of an Oregon player coming. I do think that's Whittingham.
I mean, is he saying that Jericho Johnson is going to be coming, or is he's just saying that they all loved Witt at Utah?
He's just saying, look him up.
You think possibly an Oregon? I mean, unless there's something that I don't know about. I don't know anything about Jericho Johnson potentially as a portal addition for Michigan. If that's the case, yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, then we're good. And like, please understand, like, because I saw Marmar's post, and it's like, brother, no one's saying the coaching staff can't get these boys to play at that level. But looking at it as it stands, there's cause for freaking concern, and there's nothing wrong bringing that up. There's nothing wrong being critical on a roster, and there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Like, if my position as it stands is I don't see a top 20 defense right now, and this turns into a top 20 defense, good. We're here for it. I want that. I don't want to be right. We want to be wrong, but at the end of the day, like, if I'm giving you my honest freaking perspective on this and being as critical and objective as I possibly can, because that's what I try to do with anything, I'm not going to stand here and lie to you. It's questionable. It's very questionable.
We had a lot of people chime in that we were looking at a different Christian Pierce. So apparently it's the Western Illinois Christian Pierce who did have 100 total tackles in the 2025 season, 13 and a half tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, and he was named to the OVC Big South All Academic team as well. So that makes sense that he would go.
So he's a grad transfer. Now here's what's weird though: they have him listed as a defensive back, 6'2", 220. And what is Western Illinois even playing? The Leathernecks? The fuck is division is that? I don't know what Western Illinois. I don't even know what the hell this is. What is this? It's Division One.
Division One football subdivision though.
It's FCS.
So FCS.
Yeah. All right. I hope. But how often do FCS guys translate? Let's just be honest. And I haven't seen this kid's film, so there's that. But I'm just saying, it's not common. It's not common.
I mean,
we took some FCS guys last year. We took some FCS guys from Ferris State. How'd it go? The kid won like offensive lineman of the year. How'd it go? All right. Yeah. I'm not in the line. I don't lie to myself. Like I just can't do it. Like that's just
Josiah Stewart a couple years ago.
Where'd Josiah Stewart come from?
Coastal Carolina.
Which is a group of 5 school. Group of five. Coastal Carolina is a D1 group of 5 program. I actually like Coastal Carolina. I like the uniforms. Yeah, that wasn't an FCS program.
All right. With that said, let's keep rolling with who is Muscle Man. Who is there at DL and linebacker? Why is the linebacker position considered unimportant in the NFL? So I know we've talked DL linebacker a lot, but why is this is a good question. Why is the linebacker position considered unimportant?
It's kind of like the running back, although for different reasons. Running back position is important because, well, the health and durability of the position, and you can plug and play. Linebacker, the truth is the money just goes to the skill. I mean, like you got your edge rushers, and you got your defensive tackles, and then you have your edges. Or not your edges, your corners. Corners lock down your wide receivers. Linebacker is just because, and one reason too is so the NFL is converting to more 2 linebacker defenses. Like the 3 linebacker defense is like a thing of the past. It's because the way tight ends are used now, it's a lot different. You need almost a safety hybrid to cover some of these tight ends, and it's just a position that's, you know, like the Lions, for example, they got Jack Campbell. That's like a archaic style line, although he just became all pro. So shout out to Brad Holmes on that one. But you know, the big linebackers definitely going away. They're just it's becoming more of an athletic skill thing. And you have these hybrid positions now in these unique defenses that are versatile. I mean, you got a lot of defenses where they're running just 1 true linebacker in the NFL, 1-on-1 or at most 2 linebackers. And then that linebacker is typically covering the tight end, your will. So it's just a position that's kind of, it's like the fullback. It's just fading. It's fading over time. But I feel there will always be linebackers. Like unlike the fullback position that is definitely dying out. It's just you know, offenses are getting so creative. You know, they're just the use of the linebackers is just dying out. Because to hit on, like, you're not running like it used to be run. Like, you know, the NFL in the 90s was not as pass heavy. So these linebackers were more essential. You know, and now a lot of these, and that's the other thing too, is a lot of these linebackers, you got these 3-4 defenses where these edges are essentially, or these outside linebackers are essentially edges, and they're just standing up. Like it's just the game is just evolving.
Yeah. So I will say Coastal Carolina was FCS until 2017, and then it did become FBS. So hey, there we go.
Fair. Right. Yeah, and Coastal Carolina was really good for a minute too.
Yeah. Lee Hart, how are the 2 most mismanaged rooms the leadership on both sides of the ball, linebacker and quarterback?
I don't know. Was linebacker really mismanaged, or was there just not the funds for recruiting in terms of Brian Jean-Marie? Quarterback, that's a great question, because there was no designated quarterback coach. Like there was no daily there was no daily there was nobody for Underwood by Whittingham's own words, so I don't know, man. We know why. Like, let's ask this question out loud. How were 2 words Moore? That's how.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was in over his head.
No.
I mean, look at what the shit he was focusing on instead of his team.
He was distracted. That's the word I'm going for now. Distracted.
I mean, it's a safe word, John. I like that word. It's true.
And with linebacker, I understand that it can be considered leadership. I will also say that Rod Moore was considered the leader of the defense when when he's there, he's another one who I would consider the leadership on the defensive side of the ball because he gets everybody set. He's considered a quarterback of the defense. So I would just say, as far as leadership of the defense, it's more than just linebacker.
Yeah.
We still got some more to roll through. Andrew, I was at Mich versus New Mexico week 1. Underwood made some insane throws, looked super calm for a freshman. No question coaching failed him as the season went on. I was impressed too. And we even said it on the postgame show that we were like, hey, he's ahead of schedule, we think. Like, he's looking pretty damn good out there, poised. I know it's New Mexico. We had to add that caveat. We know it's New Mexico, but he looked good. And then
are we wrong on the Western Illinois guy?
I literally
saying he's now out of. Marmar just said he's out of. We say Brother Rice. Yeah, Brother Rice. Is this kid a freshman? How many Christian Pierces are there? Is the real question. Let's ask that question. Why are there so many Christian Pierces playing football, and why is this so difficult to figure out?
Folks, he is. So.
Oh, I see. I got that. Damn, it was a. Oh, it's the same one. Western Illinois. It's the kid from Western Illinois.
Western Illinois.
He went to them, so he's a 25. He was ranked 738 in the nation. So his first season was with Western Illinois, an FCS school.
Yeah. 100 tackles, 13.5 for loss,
you know
4.5 sacks.
Does this kid have highlight tape? Because you can play FCS and not get copyrighted. Do we want to see if we can? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, at worst, we could do his high school tape too. So you keep going, and I'll see what I can find.
All right. We got Ryan with the 20. Let's go. What is your guys' grade so far on player retention and added portal players with the time schedule coming to Ann Arbor? So if I had to give an overall grade, I'm thinking B- right now, just because we still have some key holes. But I am impressed. What brings up the score is Bryce and almost definitely Andrew Marsh, right? You've got some key pieces that they brought back, right? They brought back Garnera. They brought back Sprague. They brought back, obviously, like enough talent where then they added with the portal. I'm very excited about our wide receivers. Oh my God. Like the wide receivers they're bringing in, right? JJ Buchanan, even French with the 2 Fs. The second F stands for fantastic. That's what I hear. It's the word on the street. So I don't know. B- is where I'm at right now. But if they bring in a top tier linebacker, which is reportedly like they're about to open the piggy bank to get one, if that happens, then I'm feeling real good. And obviously we've Christian Pierce looks pretty legit also.
Interesting. There's a video. So I just typed in YouTube. There's a video. It says my take on the story of Christian Pierce, and it is about Brother Rice, 2025 linebacker Christian Pierce. It's a 9-minute video, or I would have played it. But I don't see anything in terms of his Western Kentucky days, but I do have his huddle tape. We'll pull that up here. Let's see. That's crazy. Someone made a 9-minute video about his story. I don't know. That's unique. So let's take a look. Let's do it live. So let's just. I mean, he's bringing the wood. I mean, he's not the quickest. I mean, that's pretty clear. But
Look, we'll take it.
Attacks, though. I mean, he reads and he attacks. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting.
We'll take it, man. We'll take.
It's funny. He's got like if anyone. Oh, I love that. I'm not gonna lie. That fucking hypes me up. He honestly, you know, what he kind of reminds me of. This is kind of crazy. If anyone remembers the linebacker Stephen Tolick for the Detroit Lions, he plays kind of like that. Stephen Toll was a 6-foot linebacker. He was a dog too. Big fan of Stephen Toll. He used to play for the Tennessee Titans too. I mean, he does a good job reading and reacting. I mean, he held his responsibility. I mean, that's pretty solid. I'll be honest. So far, I really do like his tape. But you know, he is an undersized linebacker. He is going to play at the Big Ten level. My concern is his speed, though, because you could see he almost lost the angle here.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. See, right here, he has to now track him from behind. He almost lost him on that angle. You have a fast running back, you're effed. He's got to do better on his angles, especially if he doesn't have the speed like some of the other athletic linebackers do. But like, see, like here's the thing too. Like, look, when he recognizes the quarterback's going to take it. Watch how his arms look. You could see him react with. Look at his arms. Watch his arm movement right there. You see, there's this little.
Yeah,
he's got to work on that. That's not good. That's a waste of time and movement.
Yeah.
But whatever. Interesting, intriguing. We'll learn more as it goes.
Absolutely. Our daddy with the 5. Someone put that 6'5" DN that runs a 10-5 100 in front of a jug machine till spring ball and make him a tight end. So I think we're gonna probably rock with Jalen Hoffman, and in terms of blocking tight ends, we're probably gonna rock with Jalen Hoffman. Zach Marshall can do both, right? He can block, but he's got good hands, and he's got the size. He's got the frame for catching balls. So I think we're okay there, but I'm sure Whittingham and team will take it under advisement.
Listen, I'm all for taking developmental players, but like, and if it's all we can get, obviously clearly grab them.
Yeah.
Someone says that kid's visiting Wisconsin right now. I don't know the accuracy of it, but
T. Hambone says if Michigan doesn't address the D-line, linebacker, and O-line with impact players in the portal, expect a 4 or 5 loss season.
I am honestly satisfied with the offensive line. I'm satisfied with the offensive line. I think with Babaloa left tackle, Andrew Sprague right tackle, potentially Blake Frazier at left guard, Granera at center, right guard. We'll see. I mean, listen, I know I said Brady Norton earlier. I know some people didn't like that, but I don't know who right guard is. Is it Evan Link? Well, let's also, you know what? It's probably going to be Evan Link because they didn't bring him back for nothing, and he's definitely not sitting on the bench. So it's probably going to be Evan Link. Yeah, I like O-line. I think O-line is solid. And like, remember how young this line was, and now you're going to add a redshirt freshman in Babaloa to this already. Sprague's young, Granera's young, Frazier's young.
I want Babaloa to get his shot.
This is beautiful. Damn, I didn't even like appreciate it until right now. It's so young and talented. Like, these are very skilled. I really wish the Ty Haywood thing didn't happen because I would have liked to seen him fight for that right guard position. But
yeah, I was thinking Ty Haywood at right guard until the news dropped about him.
You know, and let's hit on the Link thing too. Okay, the issue with Link is he wasn't quick for edges. Like, he would get beat when he was backpedaling, okay, when he was taking that back step. If he's playing guard, the center and the tackle can protect him, and as long as he's aware of any stunts or anything, he should be able to put himself in a good position, and he shouldn't get fooled, and he should always stay in front of his man. So if that's the case, Link is very good at driving his guy. Like, he's pretty solid in the run game. Once he locks in. So I'm okay with Link potentially being a guard. And also, let's not forget, who's our offensive line coach, John? Harding.
Jim Harding. Yeah.
One of the best offensive line coaches in the nation. Yeah, let's see what he can do with this talent. We have a lot of talent on that offensive line.
I think
and
he's
then
a top
Malachi Lee,
5
like
coach.
who knows? I mean, the kid is 6'7", 350 as a freshman.
Yeah. Malachi Lee.
That's a grown ass man,
in.
bro.
Michael with the 5. Any news on Marsh? Why has he not signed? Michael, take a breath. It's fine. It's
terms are agreed to. Andrew Marsh and his mother worked very hard to get French to join. I'm just gonna let you know, zero concern.
Yeah.
On my, like, for at least, but listen, I cannot fathom terms agreed to. One of the things that was the delay, so this is because Andrew Marsh said that he wants to play with other talented receivers. He wants more talent around him, so he's not the only one out there. In terms of the passing game. And it's not like some ego shit, because obviously we have running backs, but he's talking about, like, in the passing game, he's getting, he's having double team, or, he's getting double teamed. He's getting, coverages being shaded his way. He wants somebody to take some of the, from my understanding, he wants somebody to help take some of the focus away from just him. So that was one of the things. So what would happen? Andrew Marsh and his mother literally helped recruit French to Michigan. They put in work. I can't fathom he's not going to sign. I just can't fathom it.
No, and remember, he never,
by all accounts,
he never even entered the portal to begin with.
Right.
So they don't have to announce he's coming back until after the portal. They can hold the news until after there's no more news, and then that can be the cherry on top, right? So I think we're fine. Yomob, is Jordan Kwiatkowski an option at linebacker? First team All-MAC from CMU and from Sterling Heights, Michigan.
Not a name that has been mentioned that I'm aware of that Michigan's looking at, but you never know. I mean, I'll tell you this, I would much prefer that than some of these other options we're getting right now. Now, granted, I have not watched this film, but I can't fathom he sucks if he's first team All-MAC.
Yeah. Muscle Man, I would argue that linebacker is just as important, if not more important, than defensive backs. Aren't they usually the captain of the defense?
I mean, nowadays, so he's saying, but he's comparing it to DB. No, because I'll tell you why I totally disagree. One, your CB1, your corner, like your number one corner, is arguably as valuable as your edge. You need somebody to match up with the best wide receiver. Now safety. The thing is, though, safety is becoming a more valuable position now because of these aren't your typical safeties. Like, these safeties are, like, some of them, for example, Mason Curtis, who's like a linebacker safety hybrid. Like, this is becoming more of a thing. But safety is becoming more valuable because of these passing attacks. I don't personally, I'm a fan of the linebacker position. Like, I love the 4. Like, I am a base 4-3 guy. That's like my favorite. Although I don't know. I am starting to get a fascination with the 4-2-5, but I think I love me some good linebacker play. I think it is critical. I mean, especially with a good run game, because your linebackers are who clean it up. Well, that's the other thing too, is like, there's a belief that the defensive line makes your linebackers. So, like, because if they do their job, then linebackers just have to clean up whatever's left over. And if you have good DBs, they can typically, help out in coverage. It's one of those things where it's just not valued like the other positions.
Yeah, I mean, I know we heard reports about the lower budget.
Well,
for linebacker in the past. In the past, they didn't have the same allocation
because they don't. And I'll tell you right now, if you ever want to understand the trends of football, watch the draft. Because there's a reason it is frowned upon to draft linebackers in the first round. There's a reason it was frowned upon. Lions have helped change this narrative. It was frowned upon to draft running backs in the first round. These positions just are not valued as much. The second contract. these things play a factor. Like, for example, the Lions have a very big decision that, and I know I'm talking about the Lions. I'm a Lions fan, clearly. Jack Campbell's going to be a free agent. Will they spend the money on that? Can they spend the money on that? It's a question. It's a question that we'll have to observe. But even though he's all pro, they might not be able to retain Jack Campbell, so it's just one of those things where it doesn't appear GMs have allocate the resources at that position like they do others.
Austin says, just FaceTimed Biles. My boy is at his going away party. Said if Michigan would have countered, he'd be a Wolverine. So we're getting big J journalism here, firsthand account from Austin.
My guy Austin here has been one of my, fuck it. He's been one of my ins on the Biles situation because he is friends with his former AAU coach. So this is not like a bullshit occurrence. He has been feeding me pretty instant reactions to Biles. So there you go. If they would have countered, then it probably would have happened. We don't know what that gap is though. So like, hey, Austin, if you can find out what the gap was, find out. But I know that's probably a hard question to get an answer for.
Well, he said earlier, $200K.
Oh, was it him who said 200K? All right. Well, fuck, he would know. I assure you he would know. So I would even put money on Austin regarding that. So if it's 200K, then yeah, I mean, if it's 200, I do trust Austin, but then I don't know why we didn't. I mean, the thought was, Michigan's perspective was, well, then we'll just get Olave or Olave or whatever his last name is. If that was damn. And then they fucking swung and missed, bro. I mean, that sucks. It's a misplay. It's just a fucking misplay by Michigan, and it sucks.
Yeah. Captain with the 10. The talent we have at D-line is great, just underdeveloped. The new strength coach is going to bring out that dog in them. We will be fine. Captain, thank you for that, and that's my point. That's my point. I still want to try to get one more, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so much better about our overall program and coaching staff now, especially in the strength and other position groups too. But strength is going to take a leap.
I mean, listen. If you want some, all right. How about this? If you want some comfort, the talent level, although unproven, the talent level is as good as most Power 4 teams. Mm-hmm. In terms of, and now granted, I said Power 4, there's 65 of those, okay? Or like 67, whatever. It's something like that. Like, listen, there is more talent on the defensive line in Michigan than there is at freaking Northwestern. Or now this one's like, oh shit, Northwestern, that's not good. But I'm just saying, like there are more blue chips. All right, there are more. How I'm trying to frame this, there are more blue chips at Michigan than most Power 4 defensive line rooms. Like that is a fact, but the problem is just unproven, untapped. The coach has got to get it out of them. It's like Nate Marshall. Top 50 player. High school tape was epic. I loved it. Love his height, but he didn't show it his freshman year. It doesn't mean he can't. It doesn't mean he won't be a dog his sophomore year. But it's just, it's unproven.
Nightwatch says, like we've seen this week, some of the states have no income tax, so 200K might actually be a 500K difference. That's a point that hasn't been brought up enough, in my opinion.
Where'd Biles go? Well, what do you mean? Schools are now bringing it up. Have you seen some of these posts? I got a good one. Let me find this thing. John, have you not seen these posts that these schools with no state income tax are posting? Check this out. For anyone who has not seen these, it's wild. Let me see if I can find it. I had it right here not too long ago.
No, but my point is that in terms of the Michigan podcast community, there's not really it really hasn't been talked about, but it is a thing. Like income tax is a thing.
I know. Look at Houston football.
There's Houston football right
Look at
there.
That. This is college football. A mascot holding a bag of money with a school saying no state income tax. They're not the only one. A bunch UCF's doing this. A bunch of schools are doing this. I got one for Michigan. You ready? Just don't pay it, boys. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Ben, can we flip Biles at this point or no? Does kind of seem like that ship has sailed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, it's probably within the contract language that they can't get out of it. It's probably a
Yeah.
1 year lock in. I don't know.
Look at what happened with what's Damon from Washington who tried
Yeah,
he had just signed a $4 million deal and then Lane Kiffin tried to poach him. I think I think it's done. And
yeah.
it's unfortunate because I think we could have got him according to a firsthand witness.
Listen, when he was
Uh
on his visit, he loved it here,
yeah.
and it was very good. Um, Unfortunately, Michigan was not willing to keep negotiating, so that could be our Scholar Bell. That could be our Scholar Bell of the cycle. Is the Biles recruitment the one that
So
got away?
just one that got away. Speaking of getting away, some people are transferring out, and so as we continue on with the show here, already almost 2 hours. So let's knock these out. Players transferring out. So I don't have Jaden Davis in here. I don't have everyone in
Why not,
here.
John? Why not, John?
I don't. But I do have some key ones. Both Metcalves, Sanders, Jaden Sanders, Justice Haynes was announced, and reportedly that's a Georgia Tech situation with multiple millions of dollars in play for him. Prescorn, Haywood, Baxter, Sullivan, Hillman. Who would
Yeah.
you like to touch on out of that crew?
Yeah, and the one that's not here, and it's because we didn't list Elijah Dotson because prior to the Missouri news,
Hmm.
there was Michigan was trying to get him back.
Yeah, I can add him now. That's
Yeah, um, but I mean, clearly, like, listen, the Sullivan one is the hardest one. Like, that's the biggest loss. The Haynes one and the Sullivan one are the biggest losses, but the Haynes one doesn't sting nearly as much because we have a talented running back room.
right. Correct.
So to me, if I had to rank this, it goes 1 Sullivan, 2 Haynes, 3. I mean, it should probably be Sanders. 3 is probably Sanders, 4 Haywood. I mean, 4 could be Metcalf, but the Haywood potential has got me. But yeah, I mean, that's where we are now. Regarding Baxter, that was unrealized potential. Hillman, I mean, I think we would all agree that there was that's not the biggest loss at all. Dotson sucks because he was very promising. So losing Sanders, Dotson, that sucks for the back end of that defense. But yeah, I mean, it's no question. I mean, dude, all right, like, could y'all imagine if we kept Sullivan?
Oh, we'd be rolling at that point.
Sullivan and Nathan Owasu Boateng next year.
Ooh, and Bowles.
Yeah, and Bulls with the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Taylor possibly, which Chase Taylor is someone I'm very high on personally. Yeah, I mean, and then like one legit ass defensive tackle to go with our defensive tackle room. I mean, and when I mean legit, I mean impactful. I don't just mean a body. Yeah, I mean that's where we are a linebacker. That's just where we are. So it sucks. These matter. I mean, I would have liked to kept TJ Metcalf. I would have liked to kept Sanders. Clearly, Sanders is a dog. Justice Haynes, like, yeah, that would have been insane to have Justice Haynes with this offense. Could you all imagine Justice Haynes with French and Buchanan and Underwood and Savion Hyder? Yeah,
Crazy.
that's in Marshall. Stupid. Like, that's not even fair. That's not even fair, dude. Like, and then the offensive line that's coming back another year with Babaloa. Yeah, that'd be epic. But it's whatever. It is what it is. Haynes is gone. Peace. But yes, I mean, so that's just where we are. What's your thoughts, John?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of these players are a blow. Sullivan is, I think, the largest blow. Sanders is up there. The Metcalves, TJ has kind of been off and on. He's had moments where he's flashed. He's also had moments where it's like, where is he? I'd say out of everybody listed here, Sullivan is the one that stings for me the most, especially because of the question marks in the linebacker
Holy
room.
shit.
Well,
There's 2 Western Illinois Christian Pierces.
I know. And I am trying to compile more information because apparently it's not even in the portal the right way. So we don't know. So even some of the media guys were like, "Oh, it's the one guy. Oh, it's the other guy." So I'm trying to find out right now, and we will have it for the next show. I promise you that.
Kid we got us
I'll
from Brother
tweet
Rice.
it out.
Well, we watched. All right, so he goes. The kid we got us from Brother Rice, but didn't play at Western Illinois. Okay, but we watched the huddle tape of the kid from Brother Rice, didn't we? Yeah, we did. I have it right here. This is from Brother Rice. So that's accurate. The huddle tape is accurate. But I have here Christian Pierce. Oh, the one from, okay. So this is, all right, this is wild. Fuck it. Let's figure it out on air. Y'all ready? Check it out. So check this out. So if we go here, this kid's from Pennsylvania. This ain't him. And he's a senior. So then where the hell did Christian Pierce from Brother Rice go? Let's figure this out. Live on air. This is wild. Okay, I have him here. So if we go here, he did go to Western Illinois, though. So there is, in fact, 2 Christian Pierces at Western Illinois. Okay. So then what? He just didn't play? What was the issue? I don't understand. So we have the right kid. You know?
There's apparently, that's crazy that there's 2 different Christian Pierces though.
At the same FCS Western
at
Illinois.
Western
like,
Illinois.
Bro. So all right, so this is, so he did go to Western Illinois. This is him. So we have that. So did you see the red shirt rule? Oh yeah, that's different. We'll hit on that. So we watched the right huddle tape, and like speed appears to be a potential limitation. Acceleration, but he does bring a thump. He does have good, it appears, some pretty sound awareness. Yeah, we know it's Trey Pierce's brother, bro. Like that's we are there. The thing though, Juju, is there are 2 Christian Pierces at Western Illinois. We did view the right huddle tape. This is the right recruiting profile. I think we got it though. I mean, that's essentially there.
Yep, the Brother Rice. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know what he did at Western Illinois though. So let's, if I click on this, I should be able to see the roster. So if we go to roster, got it. Okay, I got it. You don't even have a picture. Stats, game log, nothing. Didn't even play. Shit, he didn't even play. So this is him here. This is him.
Red shirted in 2025.
Yeah, this is him. That's his game log. So our linebacker room is Christian Pierce, Moa, and an Alfred.
So this is a legacy, like a hey, can you help us fill out the roster? Hey, bro.
Yeah. So all right. So let's, you know what? Let's raise. All right. I'm gonna say something, but this is a potential red flag because now they're trying to get bodies. Now, it doesn't mean they will not get an impact linebacker. It doesn't mean that won't happen. But this is clearly they are trying to fill this roster. That's what this is.
Why can't he be depth? Why can't he be like a third string? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, they need depth too.
Well, all right. So let's really play this out. Well, all right. So remember when we used to have walk-ons?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Basically,
but they don't do walk-ons anymore. They have 110. Was it 110 scholarship players now? Is that what it is? Or was it 105? Oh, okay, I got you. So this keeps Trey Pierce here. That's the logic. This keeps Trey Pierce, who we're currently negotiating with, because we negotiate with every single player these days.
Looks like 105 is you're asking.
Yeah, 105.
Looks like 105. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like this does not. I guess at the end of the day, this does not resolve our linebacker issues. This is apparently a negotiation.
This isn't the top. Yeah, this is not the top tier linebacker that we're talking about. So that they're looking to
essentially, what this does, John, is confirms Trey Pierce is back. Okay, good. We can move on. See, I hate this shit. Like, we are wasting our time with this small potato crap. Like, we all know, respectfully, it's not an impact move. Okay.
Yeah. So we touched on this a little bit, but just to kind of break it down on another linebacker that we were really heavy on, Uluave. Unfortunately, there's a bit of an issue with him because, as we know, Michigan is one of those schools that only allows up to 60 credits, and they're very stingy on do these even
Yeah,
count as some
right.
of the 60 credits. BYU, on the other hand, allows up to 90 transfer credits if you're bringing them in from a 4-year university. So
Right.
there's just more opportunity for him to get his
And
degree.
to your point, it's easier to get those credits transferred, John. You know, it's just easier. So it's what it is. And, let's just call it what it is until that's resolved. I mean, listen, hopefully it's a learning lesson for Whittingham and Co.,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do think it's kind of shocking, like somebody as experienced as he is running, like he wouldn't look at this, but I guess there's also an aspect of he's been on the job, what, 2 weeks?
He's never been through this process with Michigan. You know what I mean? So he's
Right.
like this administration thing, like he's learning what are the do's and don'ts and cans and cans and
Yeah.
like any job. I mean, you go to any new, I mean, like, look, you could be in the same industry. You go to a new place, they got different procedures.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be real. Like, yeah, I think it's something I'll give him a mulligan on because he's so new and because
Yeah.
like we're hiring him because of his overall coaching acumen. Sometimes you're going to run into things that are just different from where you used to coach. Um all right, and then also, did you see, so this is from Yomob, that the red shirt
Yeah.
rule may
Yeah, I
change
did.
from 4 to 9 games? I did see that. I don't even think it's a may change. I think that the coaches voted on this. I think this is going to happen.
Oh, you know what, John?
What?
This Christian Pierce shit is getting weirder and weirder. Not to cut you off. But all right, so let's hit on this. Let's hit on this Christian Pierce saga because this is getting wild. So, yeah, I did see this red shirt rule. It's crazy. I mean, just make the kids eligible. Like, what is if you play 9 games? Why would you keep your red shirt? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, red shirt is for less than 4 games, which I think is fair,
Just
and injured.
just give people another year if you're going to do this.
Right. Just allow for 5 years of eligibility.
Period.
Yeah, but NCAA's got to do dumb shit. So check this out. So one of our chatters here, one of our community or one of our viewers said, right here, Pierce, not to lose your track, John, but he goes, Pierce had 100 tackles, 13 and a half losses. Okay, at Western Illinois. So
But that's the other one, right?
I showed y'all a Christian Pierce who the previous Christian Pierce was a DB out of Pennsylvania. The Christian Pierce I showed y'all was a linebacker, but out of Illinois. Do they have 3? Because guess what? I don't see those stats. And this is a freshman. So what the hell am I missing? And by the way, Trey Pierce was out of Illinois, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure Trey Pierce was. So actually, is this not him? Hold on. Wasn't Trey Pierce out of Illinois?
I think
Or would this
so.
not be the same kid? Yes, he is. Chicago, Illinois. That's fucking him, bro. Chicago, Illinois. That's him. His stats are not at ESPN. So maybe he has 100 tackles. I don't know. But they don't have it on ESPN.
Yeah.
All right. So now check this out. Dun, dun, dun. Trey Pierce's brother redshirted last season. I don't fucking know. I'm over this game. I'm over the game, John.
Like I said, we will run this down because apparently even some of the people who get salaries to do this are confused right now. So let's we'll let the dust settle.
It's this one. It is this one. It's this one. It's this one. It's him. Now, whether his stats are here or not, or whether he
that
truly
I agree with that. That is true. This is him.
We narrowed it down. It's our fourth one, our fourth Christian Pierce, but we found one. It's crazy.
All right. So with that said, let's go to those who stay. And this is a reminder of everybody that we have a those who stay tier of membership along with 2 other tiers. Check it out at our YouTube membership link to become a YouTube member for the channel. If one of the mods can post the link to become a YouTube member, that would be really appreciated. But those who stay, so we've listed out since our last show, Jake Garnera and Andrew Sprague, who had been visiting other schools like I believe Texas. Well, we countered, we kept them. Very exciting stuff there. So those two are new from before. I don't think Zeke Berry had officially announced yet, or Jair Hill. Jair Hill definitely didn't on our last show. And then Jordan Young. So those are some of the newer ones that weren't here last time. So that's exciting that they're ponying up to keep some of the players that they deem as productive players, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah, I mean every single. All right, so full transparency, every single one of these, except my opinion, Zeke Berry and Hogan Hansen. I think Zeke Berry, I wasn't as critical as some of these other names, but because I think we could have upgraded, but all good additions. And considering we did not add an inline tight end, and because of our portal, not our portal, I'm sorry, the recruiting losses the last back-to-back classes with Ludwig, Moose, Ludwig from, was it Montana? That fucking sucks. And then Andrew Olish, we all know about that. So yeah, that sucks. We've lost some talented recruits. Hogan Hansen's our best inline tight end, unless Zach Marshall can step up. Yeah, these were all critical. I mean, these were all Evan Link. I think we all would have been like, eh. But so Link, Hansen, and Barry are not like the others. I think, Jordan Young, that's major. Jair Hill, that's a very good addition. Granera, that's major. Sprague, that's major. Babaloa, that's major. Frazier, that's big time. Marshall's major. Underwood's major. I mean, it's just, yeah, these are good. I mean, these are all good. Now, but that's what sucks. And I'm going to tell you, the cost of keeping your own exceeded expectations for every team. This wasn't like a Michigan only problem. The entire market was far more expensive than people realized. Mind you, 2 years ago, the top rosters in college football were touching 20 million. This year, they're touching 40. And I saw someone say, I thought you said we're one of the top NIL spenders. Being in the mid 30s makes you a top NIL spender. There are not a lot of teams even touching mid 30s. Like there's only like one or two teams hitting 40 million right now. Texas is one.
Yeah.
Texas
that oil
is one.
money.
Yeah, it's just a unsustainable model as it stands. Like the fact that you like Coach Whittingham was saying in the podcast with Urban Meyer, just for retaining your own guys, increasing 15% a year. That adds up when you're talking millions. Okay. So it's, I don't know. It's, I think Michigan, all right, just all things considered, the late, the late staff, completing the staff during the portal, like when the portal opened, like the staff didn't get here till Saturday. It opened on what, Friday? Yeah, I think Michigan's done a pretty damn good job. We just got some more work to do on that front seven.
Yeah, and I will say, stay tuned. This is all I'm going to say. Stay tuned for Eno Etta and what he may do.
Well, I mean, do you want to say anything else? You want to mention, and you don't have to do you want to mention some deletions, I guess is what I'm trying to say, or no?
All I'm going to say is I'm part of a group where he's in it, and I feel fairly confident he's gonna.
Let me ask you this, if you don't mind, and share what you want to share.
Go ahead.
Did he delete? I thought you said, didn't he delete like a social media post or something?
We'll keep that offline. But,
all right, never
mind. but all I can say is tea leaves look good.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we don't want to burn our.
Fair.
But anyway, we do, before we wrap up today. So we talked about this earlier, but that was like 2 hours ago at this point. Bryce Underwood did not. So this was talked about by us like forever ago that we thought this was a red flag. Well, apparently Urban Meyer and Kyle Whittingham also thought it was a red flag that Bryce Underwood did not have a dedicated QB coach aside from Synagoga, who I guess they're not counting as a dedicated QB coach because he was more of an analyst. But Coy Detmer Jr. is also kind of an analyst, so
Yeah,
you know.
right.
So, but
Well, it's yeah.
I don't know. I like
Well,
Coy Detmer Jr. more, and
well,
I've seen more from him.
and to be honest, the actual positional role is becoming more symbolic because it's really just about being able to travel for recruiting. Analysts can coach on the field. They just cannot travel to out of state to recruit. If you are a position coach, you can. If you're one of the 10 position coaches, you are allowed to travel and recruit. And yeah, so I mean that's kind of what it comes down to. Like the whole analyst and position coach, that's getting muddied because, for example, like for example, we have 2 defensive line coaches now. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like we're just adding guys who are analysts and not actual coaches, you know. The Coy Detmer thing, he is actually a coach, but he's considered an analyst. So it's just one of those things. But to the topic, I think no words even need to even be said. Like when you look at the reality of this situation, you're paying this kid $3.5 million a year on base NIL. That's base. That's not including his like side deals. Why are you making that investment, but you're not investing for him to succeed? What the fuck logic is that? What is that?
Yeah,
Like, why would you do that?
you go out and snipe the LSU quarterback.
Yeah. Big play. Big play.
Big play, and then do you give him necessarily the tools to succeed? You look at Chip now. Granted, I like Chip Lindsey. I think he's a good play caller. I don't think he was properly utilized at Michigan, but he was OC. He did utilize he called plays from the box. And so he wasn't there on the sidelines coaching up Bryce Underwood, even though technically that was it. QB coach was Chip Lindsey's job. And so Synagoga, some of that fell to. But I do believe you're going to see Coy Detmer Jr. right there with Bryce Underwood
Yeah.
with
Exactly.
the tablet talking. Like I feel like all of that comes down to
Yeah.
Sharon Moore just not knowing who to put where and what to do.
Brother, he wasn't even ready to call timeouts, let alone develop a star quarterback. He was just in over his head. It's just a reality. And eventually we will move on and we won't even discuss it anymore. I mean, unless, you know, there's reason to. But look, we achieved 9 wins in spite of Sharon Moore. We know this. I didn't just say anything shocking. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing what we were able to do, considering the dynamic at Michigan and considering, you know, we had a staff. That's another thing too, man. How many of these staff members were in positions they weren't ready for? Kirk Campbell.
Most of them.
Kirk fucking Campbell was the offensive coordinator, bro.
Hey, he might get a look soon as offensive coordinator at the Chargers.
Yeah,
because that role just opened up.
Yeah.
Greg Roman just got fired.
Yeah, I would love to see Jim Harbaugh hire one of those guys. But
yeah, can you imagine? Kirk Campbell, or how about this, Sharon Moore? How about Sharon Moore coming out to Cali?
Yeah, go. Yeah. It's a great place for him to be at. Yeah,
it's
but
probably going to be Todd Monken.
Yeah, keep him away from the beaches, okay? Keep him away from the beaches. Yeah, but and the only fan, shit, never mind. He does not need to go to Cali. The only fan models are out of control in Cali. He cannot go to Cali. No Florida or no Cali. He's not allowed to go. But yeah, I mean, it's look, at the end of the day, it's just a misplay. It's just what it is, man. Michigan, unfortunately, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if the investigation was not looming over the program, if they would have trusted, if they would have went with Sharon Moore. I'm not sure they would have.
It's interesting, and we do have 2 more super chats, but I want to touch on this. I do believe that the general vibe of everyone, with some exceptions, like some people were saying, hey, we should do a national search. But given the timeline of how everything went down, when everything went down, Sharon Moore became the option because we were already so late in the process, right? Winning the
Well,
national
nah,
title, and then we were late in the game.
we were, yeah.
And I think hindsight's 2020, but I know I was down for a Sharon Moore year or two to see, like, after he interim coached, and after he was able to juggle interim head coach,
Yep.
offensive coordinator, and O-line coach all at the same time. That's not easy.
Yep. You're right. No, you're right. So I will say I did. Yep. No, go ahead.
I supported the potential of what Sharon Moore could be. I was wrong, as was probably like 95% of people, because if you remember, most people were saying hire Sharon Moore. It was players, donors, it was everybody.
Yeah. So I know I remember it. I wanted Kalen DeBoer, but that went away very quick. He went to Alabama. And that was when, Harbaugh was still flirting and shit, and there was like rumors and all that. But with the NFL, and then I mean, Sharon Moore. Listen, I'll say this: when Sharon Moore was hired, I wasn't of the position of, oh, this is a terrible hire, we're effed.
Right.
It was of the position of, okay, well, let's see what he can do. Harbaugh gave his sign of approval. He showed to be he was a very strong recruiter. Offensive line won the Joe Moore. Offensive coordinator won a national title. He won as the interim against some major programs. Yeah. I mean, he had the perfect recipe to be hired. He passed the tests. As crazy as that sounds, he did pass the test. Did he not? Every opportunity he had, he achieved it. We even had good tight end play under him as a tight end coach. I mean, and he was apparently, this is what's crazy and kind of laughable. Apparently he was first in, last to leave guy. Well, now we know why. No, I'm just kidding. But kidding. But he was just like a grinder and worked his ass off, and he had that. It all makes sense now. But
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. But I don't know. It sucks. It is what it is, though. I mean, by year 2, though, we all knew by year 2 after the USC game, I think many of us knew this was not, something's really wrong. Something's really wrong.
Thank you to those who have hit the super chats here. Yo Mob, if we miss in the portal, wouldn't we have some shot at some grad transfers after spring semester?
Is that grad transfer rule still apply? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Are grad transfers eligible to find teams after spring?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I thought they changed the rule. But I can't say with confidence.
It used to be.
Okay, here we go.
Where they had different rules.
Yes, grad transfers are eligible. Grad transfers are eligible to find new teams and play immediately after graduating, providing they are remaining athletic eligibility.
If your coach leaves. If your coach leaves, you get a 30-day window.
Yeah, that's anybody.
But aside from that, I think they have to go January. Just like it used to be that they got a special one, and they used.
But no one's I mean, not often are these kids graduating by winter semester, though.
Right. Austin, thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. Mikey, Harbaugh screwed us with timing. Wasn't it part of his contract to have Sharon as head coach when he left?
Yeah.
Is that really enforceable though? Even if it was in his contract, it's like Harbaugh's gonna sue Michigan for picking Kalen DeBoer? or somebody. Like, I don't know about that.
All right, so this is telling me not to just. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Grad transfers
Yeah.
in football have historically had exceptions allowing. I don't know. Who knows what AI even knows? But to be determined on that one. It's a good question.
GT with the 5. Shout
Oh,
out to my amazing wife. 20-year
yeah.
20-year
Beating the odds.
anniversary tomorrow.
Good for you, man.
Wow.
Beating the odds.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. That's
He's
amazing.
he's making the average marriage look good. He's making that average higher. Good for you, GT. Helping the cause. What is the average? Not to be a Debbie Downer, what is the average marriage as John's engaged? But that one obviously will go 50 years. All right,
100%.
Yeah, easy.
Meanwhile, Austin dropped a 10.
8 to 9 years. 8 to 9 years.
8 to
He's
9 years. Okay.
Good for you, GT.
More than double the.
Right when those kids
average.
get old enough to be pains in the asses. There we go. All right, I'm just kidding.
Austin, well, boys, I misspoke. He got 2.5 to 3 million. Wouldn't give me exact. We were not close. He was messing with me on 200. Texas offered over 1 million over everyone for his last year. So that makes more sense to me.
For those asking why, or what, Biles, the linebacker from Pitt.
Biles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know.
That makes more sense.
But we don't know.
Because if it was 200, I could see Michigan countering that. If it's $1 million more, I don't think so.
He said, but Inigo says we were not close, so that was just confirmed. It wasn't as close. I mean, shit, dude. And someone did mention earlier that Biles got 3 million. That's a high number, and I'll be real with y'all. It sucks the Alluve thing didn't work out because 3 million's pretty damn pricey, man. I wonder what Sullivan got from Oklahoma.
Definitely, I believe it was in the million.
It was in the millions. I'm aware of that, but I don't know the exact figure.
I don't know the exact amount. Off the top of my head, anyway. Well, thank you. Well, Austin, we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Austin.
Being on the ground and getting your ear to what's happening.
Us intel and throwing us super chats. So thank you, Austin.
That
is appreciated.
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone here for hanging with us for over 2 hours today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's why I always say, folks, even though this isn't a call-in show and we don't do the every hour extra 150, I always also say this. If you super chat a lot, the show goes 2 hours plus naturally because we have to we read every single super chat and respond to every single super chat. So there you go. If you want a longer show, that's the recipe for Tuesday night.
I mean, we do long.
We do
for podcasting.
This is one of the
and
longer
I know
ones.
we've had our historic runs of like 14-hour, 11-hour shows, but
games,
and breaking news segments, but we do long shows, man. Most people only do like 45 minutes to an hour, 30 minutes.
I know.
I'm not taking shots at nobody, by the way, but just saying, like
because that's a way to do it. And if I were ever to do another show, I would do a 30-minute show. And I think, TJ, you did a 30-minute, hour long.
I had me and Minnie had our Michigan Monday podcast. My goal was to make it like 30, 40 minutes, a quick hitter. But like, the reality is, one, we love engaging with the community and talking ball with y'all. And two, like, it's just fun to talk ball. I don't know, like, we're talking and like I lose track of time. Like this flies, just doing this show. Like
I know
it doesn't feel like 2 hours at all. It feels like we're just talking, just shooting the shit. So appreciate it. Appreciate everyone rocking with us. All the new viewers too, because we do have a bunch. We see that in the analytics, and really appreciate that. And we got a big season ahead of us. Hopefully the boys can help out this front seven, because I think that's really the last concern for our fan base for the most part.
And so the next show we've got is Thursday night with you and Johnny, right? The 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, And maybe, John, we will have the Christian Pierce thing figured out as I'm about to pull up a comment. So watch where your banner is. But the kid had 100 tackles, bro. He's talking about Christian Pierce. To be determined. There's people, we'll see.
Ori redshirted.
Yeah, Ori redshirted
last year.
didn't play. Because that's what this is telling us. But I don't know. To be determined.
I do want to thank Mark Go Blue for that very nice comment.
Yeah, thank you.
Best Michigan channel around, no doubt. And there's some Michigan channels out there that do a fantastic job.
There is, I think there's a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, especially with the Blueprint coming into the scene this year, and then now that Believe Network has their own show. I
try to
can't
watch all of them.
There is not enough time to watch all these shows and all these podcasts and all these appearances by like Whittingham, and I'm like, and then trying to follow the
in comments. Y'all see me sometimes showing up on some of these various shows.
Yeah. I just like one show I used to love watching that I have not watched in a while is the Roundtable on Thursday with Sam Webb. I've enjoyed that show.
I did. Yeah, that's a good one.
But I've not had. I am so crunched for time. I just can't even do it. And it's pissing me off.
The steady dropping dimes.
Yeah, it's not the same though. That show's different now. You guys got, I think, Denard Robinson on there, but that show's okay. I like the other ones a little more, and but yeah, I mean, there's some good. I think there is some. And the one Connor Stallions does with Isaiah Hole's dope.
Oh, that one's sick. That Manifesto.
One's dope. Yeah, I think that's fun. And then obviously, I think many of us agree the one with Jake Butt and Devin Garner. That's a pretty damn good show too.
It is. And I mean, you get the player perspective, and now they're both broadcasters, so it's a really interesting look. But anyway, thank you to New Life for also saying that.
I'm on the show right now, John.
Marmar's calling you?
Watching the show. What are you doing, Marmar? Aren't you watching the show? You were just here, Marmar.
Thank you, Beats. Like the video, the Blueprint, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good show.
And then Maize and Blue Cowboy, Dre had so Des and Dre had hosted this show before us, absolutely. And I've watched this show since it came out, pretty much. Like I've pretty much watched almost every episode. You can see me as One Scoop John in the very early. If you look at the very early shows and you look at when they highlight comments, One Scoop John was my old screen name. So you can Des and Dre were great. They had some family stuff. They had to step away, and I was asked to step in with Mark. And so then Mark and I did it for a while. Then I did it, and then TJ came aboard, and we've just been doing that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm still on this Christian Pierce figuring it out. Interesting post I'm going to share.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
All right. So it's Clayton Safey's having a public dialogue with some posters. So shout out to Clayton Safey. But
yeah, Clayton.
Let me make sure it's the right one. It is. Okay. So right here, Scott goes, you guys will get the backstory on why a high 3-star with a 4-star offer list ended up in Western Illinois, right? And then he goes, yeah, I believe there was an injury was the reason. And then so this video that we talked about, my take on, so is this Scott the one who created this freaking video? I don't know, but apparently this is the video I was kind of telling y'all about.
Hey, I hope everyone.
So interesting. I guess that's something to watch, something to monitor. I will probably look into that video because now I'm curious.
People also mentioning Johnny Olden and Johnny is awesome, and he obviously co-hosts with TJ on Thursday nights. He's got his own channel, so yeah, lots of great options out there, and we're just honored that you consider us one of your options. And these people saying the best, I appreciate that too. But like, just the fact that y'all watch and you hit the like button, that's enough. Hit that like button, Beats. Thank you, Beats and Treats, by the way, for just consistently just making sure everybody hits the like all show. has been going on a rampage with encouraging people to hit the like, and I love it. I love it so much. Beats. All right. With that said, oh yeah, oh my God, we forgot about Maze. Maze Madman has multiple great shows every week, with different formats now, and he's doing great. So, yeah, no, we've got a lot of folks out there that are putting great shows out there, and like I said, I try to put in work. I try to stop in and say hi to everybody when I can. I was just on Maze's. He did a watch party for the Alabama OU game, and so I came on for halftime and stopped by for a bit. Okay. Any final thoughts for you, TJ, before we say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah. Portal's not done, so let's remain patient and watch it play out. You know, obviously some more additions will happen. Hopefully, we can get an impact linebacker that's desperately needed. Hopefully, we can land a defensive lineman that we're not hearing about, because I think we would all agree we need another one at least, even outside of our own guys we're trying to retain. So that's just where we are. So I guess patience. Thursday we'll update. It looks like we need to learn more about Christian Pierce.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have that. You know, hopefully we'll have it all figured out. But appreciate again everyone watching. It does matter. So thank you for that. And let's go. I mean, look, and let me just say this: everything outside of that front seven looks good. Offensive looks good. The DB room, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with our DB room now. Special teams looks improved. Coaching staff's improved. Recruiting, that's going to be something we'll be watching. But it does appear Whittingham is, you know, I mean, look at the moves. Some of these moves have been very tactful. Like the LSU commit we got to join the QB room, the veteran, like some of these moves have been actually really interesting and intriguing. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I think there's a lot to be excited about, but there's definitely areas that I think need our awareness. That's all.
For sure, yeah. Portal's not done, and like we said, reportedly, that they are trying to pony up for a top linebacker to finish out that room, which is exciting to hear.
Please, and then give me a defensive tackle. Although I know we're not hearing anything, so I'm probably hoping for nothing.
Yeah, we'll see on that. But you never know. I also want to thank FanDuel for sponsoring our show, Michigan Wolverines Live, brought to you by FanDuel. So check them out. Check us out on X at TJ_Ronin, at John D'Adamo, and thank you all for being a part of our shows. Come back Thursday night and check out TJ and Johnny, call in, all that good stuff Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And until next time, it's always go blue and fuck Ohio.
Fuck Ohio.